Hello, everyone, and good morning. My name is Jenna, and I am the owner of Elevations. My company really has two facets. We have a financial coaching component of our company, and I also own a floral design studio here in the Fort Worth, Weatherford, Texas area. And so I will actually be posting another video here in the next couple of days. In February, we really focus on a beginner's guide to budgeting. So this is going to kind of be a little bit of a hybrid, what we're going to be talking about today, because it does incorporate a little bit of my love of flowers and all things beautiful in life, really taking that kind of soft life approach. But as I was doing my marketing for Valentine's Day, I was really thinking back to a period of time when I was single for quite a long period of time before I met my husband, and how I think at that time Valentine's Day did not really become a favorite holiday of mine. I just felt it was kind of, what can you say about it? There's so much to say about Valentine's Day, but I think I still really hold on to some of that sentiment. And as I was writing my marketing posts, I was thinking to myself, it's wonderful that we market all of the Valentine's Day messaging and all of the things. It's a huge holiday, but there is a whole section of our population that really kind of gets left out, and it can lead to feelings of missing out, feelings of a little bit of envy, feelings of a little bit of jealousy or sadness, melancholy, disappointment. It can really stir up a lot of feelings in a lot of people. And so that really prompted me to think really hard about writing the Single Girl's Guide to Surviving Valentine's Day. And it was actually a really fun write. I really enjoyed writing this blog post, but I decided to do a YouTube video about this. So the Single Girl's Guide to Valentine's Day and Mastering the Art of Romancing Yourself was really born from a simple truth I learned during my own single years. And it is centered on the premise that Valentine's Day doesn't have to feel lonely or lacking, and it can actually become one of the sweetest days of the year. It can become a day of the year that is completely devoted to self-love and self-care and all of those really important things that we all need, instead of waiting on somebody else to make us feel special or complete in some way. So for many of us, like I said, I know there's a lot of mixed feelings around Valentine's Day. It can feel magical, it can feel sad, and it can feel very complicated. We can have a very complicated relationship around Valentine's Day. Everywhere you look, there are roses and candlelit dinners and commercials for very expensive jewelry, heart-shaped everything, teddy bears, messages of love and romance, and it can seem like the whole world is celebrating love and couples. And if you're single, it can really amplify this really quiet, kind of empty feeling and make you really feel like you're missing out, and I get it. Like I said, there was a season in my life when I was single for almost 10 years before I met my husband. Or I, dated people kind of here and there, but never had a really serious relationship during that time period. And those years were really full of really exciting things. I was really turning into the woman that I am. It was a season of growth. It was a season of freedom. It was a season of really discovery, of adventure, of travel, of building my career. But I do distinctly remember how Valentine's Day could sometimes feel a little bit lonely, a little bit disappointing. And I think this is actually something that we really don't talk about enough. And there's two truths that I really want to share with you today. One, a lot of this holiday, it is marketing, y'all. We have talked about this so many times because marketing's whole job is to make us purchase things, right? So that's exactly what we're seeing with all of those jewelry commercials and roses and sweet nothings commercials. It is beautiful, brilliant, emotional marketing. It is marketing doing exactly what marketing is supposed to do. And many couples end up feeling disappointed. I think this is actually something that is important to talk about as well. Just because you're single and feeling a little bit sad and lonely and disappointed does not mean that you're the only one. In fact, if you took a poll of many of your friends in marriages or relationships, there is so much pressure to try to create this perfect, beautiful, romantic, feeling. And it's, first of all, it sets a really, really high standard and is very difficult for people to live up to that Hallmark movie version of Valentine's Day. So I think it's important to also keep in mind that there are many people in relationships who also end up feeling left out. If you think about, you're at work and Valentine's Day flowers are beginning to be delivered, many of the people sitting there are in relationships and they're not getting Valentine's Day flowers delivered. So this can actually be a feeling of letdown and disappointment for a lot of people, not just the single people. But for my single people, I really want you to hear a very, very important truth. You are perfectly imperfect the way that you are. You are beautiful. You are lovely. You are wonderful. You're not behind. You are not missing out. You are not less than. If you're single this Valentine's Day, this is your love note and actually your permission slip to romance yourself. And we're going to talk about this today. Some silly, they are kind of silly, but just some ways that you can actually romance yourself this Valentine's Day. And you can actually make this day as sweet and lovely as you would like to be. You can spoil yourself as much as you'd like to. Now, of course, I want to preface this from the financial coaching hat. This is not something that should break the bank. And so a lot of the ideas that I have in here are inexpensive or routine. There's nothing like outlandish. You can, but I would really hope that you had budgeted for that. If you decide to splurge on a fancy facial or a massage or a spa day or something like that, you of course would want to work that into your budget. All right, so let's dive in here. Number one, ladies, Miley knew it all along. You can buy yourself flowers. You can buy yourself flowers. Yes, really. You do not have to wait for somebody else to surprise you. You can drive down to the grocery store, pick yourself up a few beautiful flowers, choose your favorite blooms, arrange them in your kitchen, arrange them in a beautiful wine glass. Remind yourself that beauty isn't reserved for special occasions or special people because you are the special person. Life is the special occasion. You are special. Life is the occasion. And if you're feeling extra bold, go ahead, order flowers for delivery. Have them delivered to yourself at work with a sweet little love note to yourself. Most flower shops actually make ordering flowers online super, super easy. And trust me, we all understand the love of beautiful flowers. It's how most of us got into the business in the first place. So I promise you, no one at a flower shop is ever going to judge you for buying something beautiful for yourself. In fact, we're probably back here cheering you on and thinking, that's such a good idea. I wish I would have thought of that. And honestly, y'all, that's if we even notice. Most of the time we don't notice. An order comes in, we put the message on the card, it goes out the door for delivery, but we would probably most likely never notice, I think this person ordered flowers for themselves. Well, that's lovely. So I just want to let you know, if that sounds like something you would enjoy, I highly recommend ordering flowers for yourself. In fact, am I the only person that's ever done this? When you place an order online and it says, would you like to include a gift message? Am I the only person that's ever left a message for myself? You've worked really hard this season. I really hope that you enjoy this lovely thing. I do it. And if you've never done it, I encourage it. It's kind of nice. All right, moving on. The next thing that you can actually do to celebrate yourself on Valentine's Day is to take yourself on a date you would actually love. What does your dream date look like? And if it's April 25th, I won't judge for that either. And if you know, you know. So I'm sorry for the silly joke, but I couldn't resist. But truly, give some thought to what would your perfect date look like? Is there a beautiful little coffee shop? Do you want to maybe go have that massage. Is there, a botanical garden or an art exhibit or something that you've really been wanting to try out? Do it. Most of those are very inexpensive or free. You can go have a $5 cup of coffee and sit in a lovely, lovely corner of a coffee shop and enjoy a book and really good people watching. So, remind yourself, like, you're actually pretty cool. You should enjoy spending time with yourself. Now, that's not to say that you can't invite a friend or somebody to join you. Of course you can. But don't be afraid to just find things that you would really like to do. And I would say during these years especially, you don't have to compromise with anybody. Like, you literally get to do anything in the world that you want to without having to compromise, without having to negotiate. So all I can tell you is, like, enjoy the heck out of that while you're in this season. Go do exactly what you want to do. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is just ordering your favorite meal, cooking your favorite meal at home. Again, I don't want these to be expensive. These should not break your budget. These shouldn't compromise your financial situation for the month in any way at all. But you can cook a nice dinner at home. Take out your pretty dishes. If you don't have one, consider buying yourself like a pretty little china plate or something. You can buy one. You don't have to buy the whole set, but you can set yourself a really nice place setting at home, or you can go sit at a restaurant, light the candle, put on great music. Absolutely don't forget about dessert because it's like the best part. But enjoy a lovely, lovely meal. I think it's also, I've actually noticed this trending, and I'm really kind of excited about it, is a much bigger trend in Valentine's Day. And I think it's really lovely. I think this season, especially when you're single, it's important to know that romantic love is not the only love worth celebrating. Some of the best relationships we are going to ever have in our entire life do not revolve around a partner or romantic love. So I think this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to celebrate friendships, celebrate the relationships in your life that are really, really meaningful and really important to you. Text your best friend, text your sister, reach out to your grandma or your mom, plan a brunch, drop off cookies. You can even pick up a cute, cute package of those cute little Valentine's Day cards that we all used to get as like elementary school kids. How sweet is that? Share a little tiny sweet love note with somebody or many somebodies. It will brighten their day, I promise you. So this Valentine's Day is a perfect, perfect reason to honor those amazing relationships and the people that are your biggest supporters and biggest fans and biggest cheerleaders. On this note, some of us are deep introverts. And if some of these things sound a little like, oh, I would never sit in a restaurant by myself. Oh, I don't think I want to go even to the botanic gardens by myself. That seems really awkward. Like, listen, I totally get it. I do think as you get a little bit older, though, some of those things do come a little bit easier. But for those of you who are just craving cozy, sometimes romance can really look like softness and rest. I've noticed in the last couple of years a real, increase in the soft life messaging, and I absolutely love it. I think so many of us are just swallowed up in this hustle culture, especially here in the U.S. Just hustle, discipline, push yourself all the time, and sometimes allowing yourself to just rest and take in the cozy can be such a lovely, lovely, lovely way to come back to center, to appreciate yourself, to allow yourself some time to rest. So simple ideas, like, honestly, the Nordic countries have really mastered the art of cozy. They even have words in their, I know the Danish and the Swedes for sure have words in their language that basically kind of encompass this like cozy aesthetic. Light a candle, turn off the bright overhead lights, get lost in a fabulous book. You can take a long bath. You can do a facial at home. dig out your journal. You can sip tea out of your favorite mug. Make yourself a delicious coffee. You can watch your favorite movie. Like, that is such a simple luxury in life. Sit on the couch with a great movie and a cozy throw and snuggle your favorite pets. Small comforts, slow moments, a gentle day. Love can absolutely feel quiet and cozy. Okay, the next one I want you to stick with me on a little bit, because it sounds a little bit weird at first, and I totally understand that. I'm sorry, I'm going to have a drink of my tea here. Since we've moved back to Texas, I'm definitely noticing an uptick in my allergies again. I had forgotten how that felt, but I'm starting to remember. Okay, so this one, again, sounds a little bit strange. Have you ever considered writing yourself a love letter? Anybody? I know it sounds really weird. I did this for the first time, I think, about 10 years ago. There it is. We can never make it through one without. Someday I'll get better at editing and we won't all have to listen to that, and won't that be nice? But I was going to say, I think the first time that I did this was about 10 years ago, and I was a brand spanking new baby nurse. I was working the night shift, and I think it was in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve. Okay, we are back. I'm looking a little more haggard. I did get my floral delivery, which is why the dogs went berserk. And anyway, I've spent the last hour and a half prepping flowers for Valentine's Day arrangements tomorrow. So anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We ended up with the idea of writing yourself a love letter, which is kind of a strange concept. I acknowledge that it does feel a little bit silly at first, but I came upon a Christmas card that I wrote to myself 10 years ago when I was a baby nurse. I just came across it when I was putting up Christmas decorations this year. And it was just like the sweetest little time capsule. In those days I was a brand spanking new nurse and everything was new. I had just started a job in ICU in Fort Worth. And, it was just lovely going back and reading that and seeing how far I've come since those days. The things that were challenging at that time, the things that I, now come second nature. It was just a really I loved reading that little letter to myself. And I thought, you know what? I know it sounds a little woo-woo, a little bit weird, but I would encourage you to give this one a try. You can find beautiful little cards. You can just write it on a notebook and tuck it away, put it in an envelope, date it. But, write down what you're proud of. What is challenging you? What have you gone through? What have you survived? What makes you uniquely you? What are you excited about? What are you dreaming about? What's coming down the hatch for you? I think it's just a really nice way to talk kindly to yourself. Most of us have that evil voice in the back of our head that tells us all of our weaknesses and all the things that we're doing wrong, and amplifies everything that we feel like we're really struggling with. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Give yourself that gentleness and grace that we all really, really deserve and really need. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think that you will actually appreciate coming back and reading that in the future. So celebrate your strengths, celebrate your wins, give yourself some hope and kindness and encouragement. It's a really simple and beautiful way to love yourself this Valentine's Day, and any day for that matter. All right, and then we want to really look at celebrating the life that you're building. Okay, I think a lot of us feel if I can't wait to get into a relationship because that's when my life is going to start. Your life, you're in it. I just watched P.S. I Love You the other day when I was designing flowers for a funeral, actually. But it's just kind of nice background noise. And when she says in that movie, I'm waiting for our life to begin. And he says, we're already in it. This is our life. We're in it. Celebrate the life that you're building. Celebrate the life that you're living. Celebrate the life that is your life. Being single is not waiting. It is building. You are in a building phase. You're building your career. You're building your home. You're building amazing friendships. You're chasing goals. You're building your confidence. You're building your future. You know, it could be a really nice night for, again, from a financial coaching standpoint, a money date. What are you dreaming of as far as your financial future? What goals have you set for yourself this year? Set a dream planning session. Go to Pinterest and make a beautiful vision board of what you're dreaming about. You know, map out that dream trip you've been dreaming of. Set up a savings account. Set up a sinking fund. Figure out how much it's actually going to cost to do this dream trip and start saving for it. Celebrate you, ladies. This is what it's all about. And remember this. A relationship can be wonderful, but it absolutely does not complete you. You're not behind. You're not missing out. You're not less than. You are already enough. You are already perfectly imperfect. You're lovely. You're beautiful. So this Valentine's Day, I would encourage you, instead of asking who's going to love me or I can't wait for this day to get over, ask yourself, how can I love myself well today? You might be surprised how beautiful that answer is. You might be surprised that one of the most dreaded days of the year for some people can become one of the sweetest days of the year. You can turn this into an annual ritual that you do for yourself. You'll never be disappointed by Valentine's Day ever again. And again, of course, if you want to buy yourself flowers or have yourself a spa day or do whatever, make sure that you set up a sinking fund for that ahead of time. Make sure that you budget for that. And if you are listening to this and you've made it all the way through and you don't fall into the single girls camp, try to take the pressure off the loved ones in your life. Give them a little bit of slack. It's really, really, really hard to live up to the Hallmark image and all of the marketing and all of the hype that's around this day. So anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you again on the flip side. I'm going to do another video. I maybe mentioned this in the beginning. I got completely distracted when the floral delivery came, but I'm going to be doing another video here in just a couple of days, which is going to be all about kind of starting over in February. If we've fallen off the wagon on our budgeting, fallen off the wagon or fallen behind on some of those financial goals that we set for ourselves back in January, we are really going to be walking through step by step, just like starting over, getting on a budget, how to get on a budget if you've never done that before. So be sure to tune in. Again, thank you so much for being here. My name's Jenna. I really appreciate it. If you appreciate this content, there's a lot more where this came from. This is a brand spanking new YouTube channel. So help out with the algorithm. Like the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, beautiful Valentine's Day. Bye.